The balmy Florida air, thick with the scent of salt and freedom, greeted us as we arrived at the beach house. It was a sanctuary of relaxation, the kind of place where worries were supposed to be as distant as the horizon. We were a tight-knit group of friends, eager to escape the grind of our daily lives, to bask in the sun, and to make memories that would last a lifetime. The first day was bliss. We swam in the azure waters, our laughter mingling with the cries of the seabirds. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink, we felt a contentment that had been missing for too long. It was perfect, too perfect to last. That night, as the moon cast a silver glow over the sea, I noticed a figure standing in the water. It was far enough that details were blurred, but the stillness was unnerving. Probably someone enjoying the night, I mused, trying to shake off the unease. But when I glanced back, the figure was gone, as if swallowed by the night. We spent the evening on the deck, the sound of waves a constant backdrop. It was then we saw the figure again, this time on the beach, motionless, staring towards us. A chill ran down my spine. It's just someone messing with us. Alex tried to laugh it off, but the forced nature of his laughter betrayed his fear. We retreated indoors, telling ourselves it was the wind and shadows playing tricks on our minds. Yet as we settled in, a knock sounded against the window, rhythmic and insistent. We froze, none daring to approach. "It's just a branch," Lisa whispered, but we knew there were no trees close enough to touch the house. The night passed in a haze of fear and whispered theories. We barely slept, jumping at every sound, every shadow. By morning, our nerves were frayed, the previous day's joy a distant memory. We decided to seek answers, hoping to dispel our fears. The neighbors, when approached, shared stories of similar encounters, of figures seen and unexplained knocks in the night. It wasn't just us. The realization did little to comfort. Instead, it amplified our terror. Determined not to let this ruin our vacation, we tried to reclaim the joy of the first day. But the beach no longer felt welcoming. The sea a mirror reflecting our anxieties. The figure appeared again, closer this time, on the edge of our property. We stayed inside, curtains drawn, the sense of being watched pervasive. The knocks became a nightly occurrence, each time from a different window, never repeated in the same place twice. We debated leaving, but it felt like admitting defeat, like letting our fears win. One evening, determined to confront our tormentor, we waited on the deck, armed with flashlights and makeshift weapons. The figure appeared at the water's edge, just as the moon rose, its silhouette stark against the shimmering sea. We charged, yelling and brandishing our weapons, only to find nothing. The sand was undisturbed, the figure vanished. It was as if the very air had swallowed it. Panting, hearts racing, we returned to the house, a mix of relief and disappointment in our steps. That night, the knock came again, louder, more insistent. It was mocking us, we realized. We were part of some twisted game, the rules of which we didn't understand. The next days blurred into a cycle of fear, attempts at normalcy, and the nightly visitations. Our vacation had turned into a nightmare, the beach house a prison of our own making. In a desperate bid for answers, we scoured local archives, uncovering tales of a shipwreck off the coast, centuries old. Survivors had made it to shore, only to vanish without a trace, their fates a mystery. A plan formed, born of desperation and the human need to understand, to rationalize. We would perform a vigil, a night spent on the beach, in an attempt to communicate, to appease whatever spirits we had disturbed. The night was eerily calm, the sea whispering secrets as we sat in a circle on the sand, candles flickering in the gentle breeze. Hours passed, and just as doubt began to creep in, the figure appeared. This time, it approached, the moonlight revealing features that were human yet not, eyes that held the depth of the sea, the sorrow of countless lost souls. It spoke, its voice the sound of waves crashing and retreating. "You disturbed the resting," it said, the souls of the sea, bound to the shore, to the scene of their last breath. We listened, hearts heavy with guilt and sorrow, as it told of the shipwreck, of the souls who wandered, lost, unable to move on. Our presence, our joy, was a beacon, drawing them forth, a reminder of what they had lost. The figure asked for a boon, a simple yet profound request. We were to carry their stories, to remember them, to acknowledge their existence and their loss. In return, they would grant us peace. We agreed, tears mingling with the sea spray, as we promised to honor their memory. The figure nodded, a gesture of acceptance, and as the first light of dawn touched the horizon, it vanished. The beach was peaceful in the morning light, the sea calm, as if it too had found solace in our promise. We left Florida with more than memories. We carried the weight of history, of souls long forgotten, now remembered. Our vacation had turned into a journey of understanding, of confronting fears and uncovering truths hidden beneath the surface. The beach house, the sea, the figure in the night, they were all part of a story much larger than ourselves, a reminder of the thin veil between the living and the spirits of the past. We returned to our lives, changed, carrying the stories of the souls of the sea with us. The beach house, the figure, the knocks in the night, they were no longer things to fear, but reminders of our promise, of the lives that had touched ours in the most unexpected of ways. The horror we had faced was not of malicious ghosts or malevolent spirits, but of forgotten tragedies, of the sorrow of souls lost at sea, yearning for acknowledgement, for peace. We had faced the unknown, and in doing so, found a deeper connection to the past, to the stories etched in the sands of time, whispered by the waves, carried by the wind. Our vacation had ended, but the story, the memories, the promise would live on, a testament to the power of understanding, of compassion, of remembering those who had been lost, but were now found, in the tales we would tell, in the hearts that would listen.